This conference will now be recorded.
All right, sir. So you're gonna, let me just go to that app, wherever that app is gone now. I don't know, this one here. No, it's not opened in the chat. Okay. All right, so gonna look into the management, right? So we have done everything with the VPN and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna log into the management and gonna log on to the Netscaler and Nesroot. So gonna go back to the Citrix Gateway, and this time gonna go into the policies and sessions, right?
Okay.
All right, gonna go into the profile tab, and we are gonna add one more tab. So now we're gonna create for session underscore prof underscore HR user, right? Underscore baseline. Okay, so we're gonna go into the security tab, and in the security tab, we're going to allow default authorization, right?
Okay.
Okay, and I will create it. Then click on the policies tab, and we're gonna add one, and you can say session underscore Paul underscore HR users underscore baseline, yeah.
Okay.
And make sure you have the advanced policy selected. You got the HR user baseline profile selected, right? All right, and we're gonna just say true and create.
Do you want girls?
Sorry.
No, not here. So.
Then you go to the Citrix Gateway Policy Manager.
Okay.
Open your AAA groups and edit your HR users. Go on to the policy, bind that policy, which is a session policy, right?
Okay.
Okay. And we're gonna go continue, select the policy that we just created, and that's the priority I'm gonna give. Bind it, and we're gonna say done. Okay, and done. And we're gonna save it. So now we can connect to the external client. And we're gonna browse through the gateway, right? From the external client, open that gateway URL.
Okay.
So I'll say HR user 1 and log in. Network access. Okay, that's connected, and if I run that RDP, it should succeed. Right, sir?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. And when you do the lab, please make sure you log off, huh?
Okay.
So we're gonna log out. Okay, that should also get logged out, right? And if there is anything with this cleanup, you can just exit. Okay, so I've make sure you're logged out, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna create some clientless access. All this I will just say exit, and now I'm going to create clientless access and bookmarks. So only HR users will be affected, right? All right. So we're going to modify the baseline policy of the HR user to test the clientless access to internal web servers, right?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to the Citrix gateway policies and sessions. And once you're in the session, you click on the session profile, click on the HR user baseline, edit it. Certain things you're going to go to do under the client experience. One, scroll down once you're in the client experience, look for clientless access. That should be override global enabled and on, right? And you have the URL encoding. That means it should be clear. That means you will be able to see everything, right? Inside the URL, it won't be encrypted or obscured. That means is scrambled up, right?
Right.
And under the plugin type, make sure you have Windows, Mac OS, right? Okay.
Mhm.
And when you scroll down to advanced, you will see under the client choices, you're gonna say override global is enabled, and you give the choices, right? And I'm going to say okay. So I've updated the session, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna go under the resources. I'm gonna add a bookmark. So you see resources, and I'll add a bookmark. So I'm gonna add the URL to of the bookmark, right? I'm gonna say web underscore red, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And to display, I will just say red server, and the URL that I'll do is http webred.workspacelab.com. And are we good, sir?
Mhm.
Under your application type, is going to be clientless VPN, right?
Okay.
CVPN.
See.
And and here you can say use the gateway as a reverse proxy. All right. And
Mhm.
I'll create. Okay. And also, you done with that, right? We're going to add another one.
Okay.
I will add the blue server.
Mhm.
And here I will say blue server. And here I will say http web blue workspace.com. And application type is going to be CVPN and use Citrix Gateway as a reverse proxy, right?
Okay.
And create it. Then I'm going to go to the Gateway Policy Manager and all right. What should I do, sir?
Um, we'll check with the HR users, you mean?
So I will click on the virtual server, right?
Okay.
Okay. So you see Citrix Gateway virtual server. I will bind it to this one. I'm going to edit it, right? Okay. And you see published applications.
Right.
Click on that. You'll see no URL, right? I will click on the no URL and I'm going to select the URL, right? So I'm going to bind the red one and select and bind. All right. And I'm going to say done. And I'm going to say okay. Now here you'll see AAA groups and I'm going to click on the AAA and I'm going to edit HR user. And under that HR user, you'll see bookmarks, right? I'm going to add the bookmark now. And under that HR, I will choose blue server and save it, done. And I'm going to save. Now we can go and test it, right? So open that up again, log on. HR user 1, password 1. Network access. So yeah, you got the blue server because of the HR bookmark, and you got the red server because of the virtual server bookmark, right?
Okay.
So if I open this up, it will open up, right, sir?
Uh-huh.
And even if I open the RDP, that should open up.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna now log off, and I'll just go and say log off here. Wait for this, and I will exit this. All right, so and if I'm gonna log in again, now this I'm gonna use HR user 1, password 1. I'm going to access client list, okay?
Okay.
And you will see that this will not be gray, this will not turn blue, right?
Okay.
This will only be gray. There you go, right?
What's the difference? I mean, being gray.
Because I'm not using the VPN. If I use the network access, I'm using the Netscaler Gateway VPN plugin.
Okay.
I'm not using the VPN now. I'm not using that plugin. I'm going directly, right?
Okay.
I don't know if this will work, and that will also work. So that's the difference between when you use the network access and the plugin, right?
Okay.
All right. And here I'll just now I can give you an option without the client. So I'll just log off without that client options, client choice.
Hmm.
You got the network access and clientless access, right?
Okay.
I will remove that option for you. I will not give you the choice. So I'll just go to the gateway policies and I'll go to the session and go to the profile, edit the HR profile, and here client experience. You will see I'm gonna choose a URL encoding. I will make it obscure, right?
Okay.
You used to see that HTTPS workspacelab.com web gateway web red, right?
Hmm.
And on the this one under advanced, I will just remove the client choice only and leave the override on. Okay.
Okay.
And this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm going to now save it. And when I give you that option with no choices, you see you don't get any option of network access or client access. I'll just take you directly to the client access, right? And if I click on the blue server, look at the URL you're gonna get. You see, you don't get webblue.workspacelab.com, right? You see that? It's all in, what you
Right.
call encrypted or scrambled, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I will now log off from here. So that was your options of clientless and with client choices and without client choices, right?
Okay.
So I will go and restore it back. Go to the gateway sessions and restore it back to the choices. You will see your under your clientless. Okay, make sure it's on. Clientless access is on. That's fine, right? And go under the advanced, and I'll give you the client out choice, right? And I'll save it. So that was your option. Now I'm going to configure the client cleanup. Cleanup has not worked very well for some reason. So I'll go back into the client experience, right? And once I go into that, you see, if I just log in like this, if I just show you, you have seen that I can now, if I just log in and use HR and go with your network access. All right, and I'm going to start the RDP, right? So if I open this here, as I showed you earlier, and secured applications and everything right here, you will be able to see, right? All the languages, connections, and everything, right, sir? So let me try and establish an RDP. You see that? mstsc.exe, right? That is your process that has been uh, secured, right? So you can see all these connections right here, your gateway and configurations and everything, right? This is your secured application that you see. Are we good, sir? I actually showed you this earlier as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I have, and I'm gonna now log off. I will close this. And what I want to see is get this cleanup. So I want to go and configure this. So I'll go back here under the HR. Okay. And you can go ahead and do that. And we're gonna go back here, edit it. Excuse me. And you're gonna go under your client experience, scroll down to advanced. You see your client cleanup here. So you can say custom, whatever you want to do, right? Okay. Uh, and you can set it to none. Okay, let's go and see if it, excuse me. Let's go and save this, right? When I log in, network access, then log out, right?
Yeah.
So the cleanup is, prompt is set to the default users. So you will get an option to select the cleanup, right?
Yeah.
It should have actually removed everything, right? All right, so you can change all this to select all of them, and you can remove everything, right, sir?
Yeah.
So I will not remove it. Normally, I should be getting a message, which I normally don't, even in the production, that you get a cities gateway. So when you remove your Firefox cookies, all your Firefox web browsers, Windows, and all that would be, you need to do a cleanup. So I can right click on the gateway plugin and I can log off from there also. So let's see if I can do that also,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing.
So maybe I just want to eat.
So let's go and try that. And I'll say log off, or I can, and this is where you can check everything. and do a cleanup if you want. So the users will be able to do this, and you can exit. Right, sir? So you can select whatever cleanups you want to do, right?
Okay.
So I can go back to that and I can select under the client experience, scroll down advanced. This is if you don't want to do the cleanup, don't have to do it actually. I also skip it in the production. So I can go with the custom and I can select everything, right?
Mhm.
I will select everything except for your plugin. And I can say okay here and save it. So if let's say I will use Firefox this time. And I'll just click on network access. Open the link. And if I say log off, I should get that prompt. See, when you remove, this is automatic, right? You see that? Bashar, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
So once you select everything, you can just say, and it will remove it for you, and you can just go ahead and say, okay, right? Right, sir?
Yes.
And I'll just say exit,
Mhm.
and then I can go back and disable the cleanup. Sounds you're very tired today, huh?
Yeah.
So how do I go and do this? How should I do the cleanup off? Tell me.
Uh, for what scenario?
Yeah, just to remove, not scenario. I just want to clear all the cleanups.
Okay.
So you'll see here under the basic settings, right?
Yeah.
Something to do with the client cleanup, right?
Okay. Uh,
This one here, client cleanup prompt, right?
mhm.
And I can just say off. If
Okay.
you don't want to see that client cleanup, right?
Yeah. But what is a more uh, commonly adopted practice? I mean, like, prefer to automatically clean up or
There's no common practice. We don't even use it.
okay.
We just do it manually.
Hmm.
Yeah, we we don't do it. We don't do it. We don't do it at all. Even in the production, we don't do it because we have noticed that the users get irritated with that
Uh-huh.
because users wants to log off and leave.
Yes, yes.
So this is just to make sure that your client cleanup is disabled, right? So
Okay.
I'll just log off and shit, why am I saying logging? Yeah, I will just use the Firefox for this one. So I'll just say log off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Network access and log off. And let's log off and see what happens. I should not be getting it. Let's see. Right?
Yeah.
I'm getting maybe an option of just say okay, that cleanup and all that, but I'm not getting those options now, right? So that is done with the cleanup, right, sir?
Yeah.
Then we can remember we spoke about the EPS scan.
Mm-hmm.
You had your dinner
Yes,
or not?
yes.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah. I ate once we started, so
Okay.
yeah, I went.
So you had your dinner, right?
Yes, yes.
Great. So you're gonna do an EPS scan, endpoint analysis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And pre-authentication policy. For this
Okay.
one, I'm gonna go to the Citrix Gateway and global settings right here. Citrix Gateway, right? And where do you see the global setting?
Global settings.
Right here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so when you click on the global setting and you see change pre-authentication policy, this one under settings, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means what is a pre-authentication? I'm gonna say deny. Why? If I don't see something running, we will deny it, right?
Okay.
Okay. So I will say okay and say okay here. So we're gonna go into the policies now, and you see pre-authentication policy, right?
Right.
So first thing we're gonna do is the profile. I'm going to add a profile, and I'm gonna say uh, pre-auth underscore prof underscore notepad, right?
Okay.
Okay, and this is going to be allow, right? Sorry, this is gonna be pre-auth prof allow logon, right?
Okay.
So this is gonna be notepad, right, sir? So I'm gonna go into policy, gonna create a policy. I will say pre-auth, right? Underscore poll underscore allow logon underscore notepad, right, sir? And I'm going to select that action of notepad one, right? Now this I'm showing it to you as a notepad example because I don't have an antivirus. If you're gonna have an antivirus, you're gonna specify that antivirus name, right?
Okay.
Client dot application, right? Dot process, right? And I'll say notepad.exe should exist, right?
Okay.
That means I will only allow you if I see notepad running. Otherwise, I will not allow you, right?
Okay.
Okay. And I'll go to the gateway and go to the policy manager. And under the policy manager, you'll see your gateway virtual server. Click on your virtual server, right? And
Okay.
I'm going to edit this UPN, UGVPN under the policies. See here under the policies, right, sir? I'm going to add the policy, right? And here, instead of session, this time you're going to say pre-authentication. Okay. And that's going to be a request. So I'm going to continue and select that policy and bind it. So I'm going to give it, leave everything as it is, bind, and I will say done and okay. Are we good?
Yeah.
And I will also say done here, and I'm going to save it. Go to the external client, right? And we are going to say open the browser, right?
Okay.
We're gonna say open link, right, sir? So we can let's use Chrome, okay?
Okay.
A window opens up that this is your EPS scan. In order to access the specific corporate resource, and endpoint analysis scan is required. Information about your system is sent to your corporate network for further evaluation. Do you want to scan? I will say yes, right?
Okay.
It should fail
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have Notepad running, right?
Okay.
See, it failed, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go and run the Notepad. Here you go, and it should now this time should go through. See, it lets you in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that means if the client has antivirus installed, then only I will send you to the authentication page or
Okay.
login page. Otherwise, I won't, right? Are we good, sir?
Yes.
And I'm just gonna go and unbind that policy. I'm gonna go back to the and I'm going to go to the global settings, right? And I'm going to change it to allow. All right, and I will go to the virtual server and I will edit it and I will unbind that policy, right?
Okay.
So that was your EPA, right, sir?
Yeah.
Right. So that was your EPA and some sessions profiles that we have created. So you wanna do the lab?
Uh,
Or you
let's continue theory.
okay? You're tired, huh?
Yes.
All right, then tomorrow you'll do the two labs, yeah?
Okay.
Because remember the Tuesdays would be the last day, right, sir?
Yes.
So any questions so far?
Um, no, nothing as such. Nothing I can think of right
Okay. So we're gonna look at the integration of virtual apps and desktop with the gateway, right?
now. Mhm.
Are we good?
Yes.
So we're gonna look at the integration, gateway integration with virtual apps and desktop, integrate the web interface and the storefront, the web front, client class access and workspace for ICA proxy, and smart access and smart control, right? Okay.
Okay.
And since you guys have already integrated virtual apps and desktop, I'm sure you know the certificate required maybe or not, all right, because you might be using a wildcard certificate. Okay.
Yeah.
And so there are three main integration points with your from your Citrix virtual apps and desktop in the gateway. One, you can bind with the storefront. Two, you can bind with web interface. Or three, with web interface on the ADC, right? So sometimes you might not have you don't want to do the storefront, so you can use the web interface from any of the firewalls. Like with the F5 and Citrix, I don't need to install the storefront server. I can use the web interface only. All right. So you can integrate the latest version of the virtual apps and desktop and older version as well, right? Which was known as Zen Apps and Desktop.
Okay. Can we get trial versions of these to download and play around with? Or
Yeah, you have a 3 months demo.
okay. I mean,
Or
does it
3 months,
require
30 days.
require an account or something, or it's open to anyone?
No, no, you just download the ISO file.
Okay.
So you get a 30-day from the time you download.
Hmm.
Okay, until unless if you can request for a demo license, then Citrix can give it to you also.
Okay.
I mean, since you are the customer, you can ask your partner and they should arrange it for you.
All right.
Okay. So this is our way the users are gonna get connected either on port 443 or 80 as option, right?
Mhm.
And all the traffic will go to the gateway, right?
Okay.
Gateway will communicate with the NSIP using the NSIP and authenticate the user using with your LDAP or ADS, right?
Okay.
All right, and the request would be going to the SNIP and SNIP to your storefront. All right, and also to your Citrix virtual apps and desktop. So there'll be ICA and secure ticket authority. Secure ticket authority means the delivery controller is gonna see if the token that has been received by the ADC is correct or not. If the token is correct, then only then it will give you the resources, right?
Okay.
Right, sir?
Yeah.
So this is I've just shown you the pre-authentication policy, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
security check before the authentication. You can have a content switching server as your target because this is where you can have the policy bind point. You can
Okay.
have all your authorization controls access to the network. You can create session profiles to set the user connections, or you can use the ICA smart control that is to control all the ADCs. The ADC will control all the ICA attributes instead of your Citrix virtual apps and desktop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might have a content switching enabled, all right? And with your session, you have a session policy, which is all your expressions and settings that are applied to the users and the group, right? And the ICA, that is your smart control, allowing you to define very granular policies to configure and enforce user environment attributes for your Citrix virtual apps and desktop on the gateway, right? Are we there, sir?
Yeah.
So your smart control will allow you as an administrator to manage the policies from one single location. So you don't have to be going to every instance of your server types. Okay. And then you can create traffic policies to control your file extensions, applications timeout. You can use the TCP compression to compress the TCP connections. You can do a clientless access only using the Java or the web. You can have an app flow, all right, uh, where the ADC appliance will be the central point of control for all your application traffic in your data center or your uh, office. You can have your authentication set either local or from external. You can use the auditing of your syslog and nslog, and you can create RDP profiles. And then you got the policies that are applied in a hierarchy. That means first the users, then the groups, then the policies applied to the virtual server, then it will be applied globally. All right. It's not recommended that you bind the policies globally. All right. You can bind it at the virtual server level, or you can bind it on the group or users of the groups, right? So your numerical priorities takes the precedence. So if you have done 10, 90, 100, 100, and 110, right? Are we there, sir?
Yes.
So first 10, then 90, then 100, then 110. This is how your policy will be applied, right? The priority.
All right.
And this is your gateway integration, all right?
Mm-hmm.
That is your way you can. Remember, we have gone through this as well before,
Yes.
2 or 3 days back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this time you're gonna click on the application and add the application, right?
Okay.
So you're gonna configure your virtual apps and desktop virtual server. You select the bind point as storefront. So this is the last step of adding applications that we are going to use on the gateway, right?
Okay.
Because you remember we have created intranet and internal and external applications. I've shown you the clientless access. I've shown you the pre-configured pre-authentication policies. So we can also use the pre-configured applications already on the ADC. So you'll see some of them I'm going to be using, right?
Okay.
So the gateway secure ticket authority is going to be your delivery controller. So the STS or your secure ticket authority will be binded either globally or to a virtual server. And you should never load balance your STA ticket servers. And STA has got nothing to do with virtual apps and desktop. If you might think that, oh, STA is related to virtual apps and desktop, no, it is not. All right.
Yeah.
So we can integrate it with the web. So one, the user will connect to the URL. Okay, this is whatever URL you're specified, right? As a storefront.workspacelab.com or storefront.abc.com, right?
Okay.
And then the gateway will terminate the SSL and authenticate the user and validates the endpoint, right?
Okay.
So your connection stops right here.
Mhm.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Then your gateway will communicate the user credentials and policy conditions to your storefront. So once you're stopped here, ADC takes over and sends your information to the storefront, right? Then storefront will maybe authenticate with the AD.
Mhm.
Okay. Once
Yeah.
the AD has approved the user, then the storefront will communicate with the delivery controller.
Okay.
Okay. And then your storefront will validate the smart access conditions through your secure channel and then enumerate the applications for you, right?
Okay.
Okay. And then the end user will click on the application icon and storefront will request the ticket from the XML service. And that is how, and storefront will send the ticket to the user in the ICA file. So the ticket is in the ICA file, which the user is going to look for the ICA client. Okay, it sends the ICA in SSL to the gateway. That is your ticket now, and the gateway will validate the ticket with you with the delivery controller. And once the ticket has matched, then your ICA session is established. Right?
Okay.
Are we good, sir?
Yes.
Once your sessions is established, all right, then you can access your gateway through the FQDN or the web interface of your storefront. All right, you can use the storefront interface. It should have it should trust your SSL certificate at machine level. All right, you can use domain names on your gateway to connect to the web interface of storefront. You can load balance all your resources to provide resilience, and your virtual apps desktop must trust the XML request. So once that has been validated, your session has been established. This is how you will see your resources, right? Are we good, sir?
Yes.
And what happens inside the storefront? Storefront should and must trust your SSL certificate authority, right? Storefront must connect to the gateway virtual server via the host name over the SSL or you, okay. So once you are browsing and you go to the storefront will use its authentication service to authenticate you. All right, where the what it will go to the virtual apps and desktop, then it will detect whether your request is coming locally or remotely, right? So that is the storefront services it will use. You're going via the gateway actually, right? And once it has communicated with the XML and the delivery controller, it will send back you the resources, right? Are we good, sir?
Yeah.
And then in the storefront, you have to configure your authentication to get pass through, configure gateway pass through, and then you have to add the gateway here. All right, you're going to add the gateway URL right here, and after that you're going to enable the remote access. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Then that means you have configured the storefront to communicate with the gateway, and we have already configured the gateway to communicate with the storefront, right?
Okay.
So this is what you're gonna do on the authentication pass through, right? And then this is your ICA proxy. What is ICA proxy, sir?
Um, I see a proxy. Something for handling the
Handling. What is it gonna handle, sir?
no, not getting any idea.
Sorry?
No.
See, ICA proxy is the setting that will allow the users to connect to your virtual apps and desktop via the ICA through the gateway. So once you connect via the ICA, that is allowing your users to access your virtual apps and desktop without a VPN client.
Right. Okay.
So the now the ADC is working like a ICA proxy for the virtual apps and desktop.
Hmm.
That means you don't need a VPN client, okay?
Okay.
So you need to define all your URLs and everything right here.
Uh-huh.
So it is going to override all your clientless and VPN modes, okay?
Okay.
And this is your storefront IKS. So when you want to configure the ICA, storefront must be updated with the gateway and remote access configuration. So once I go into the remote gate, you have added the gateway, and once you have added the gateway, you have enabled the remote access, like this one here, what I was telling you just now. This, you change the authentication, you add the gateway, and you enable the remote access to the gateway.
Yeah.
Only then it will be able to use the ICA proxy. And then here we're going to select no VPN tunnel if you're going to be configuring ICA proxy. If you're not going to configure the ICA proxy, then you can use a full VPN tunnel. Okay, are we good, sir?
Yes.
You're gonna use this. You're not going to you're gonna use this if you enable ICA proxy, right?
Yeah.
If no ICA proxy, then you enable this.
Correct.
So this is where you're gonna configure the storefront URL in the ADC. Click on the retrieve stores, right?
Hmm.
And it will check all your domains, security kit authority URL. This is your delivery controller URL, and just click on continue. Okay, and then you can go. You can see all this following. If you have ICA traffic passing through the gateway, you can work directly with the ICA connection, right? Any questions, sir?
No. Yeah, good.
So we'll I will do the lab. So, but before that, can we take a 15-20 minutes break?
Yeah. Sure.
I'll put the timer, right? I'll put a 20-minute timer, right, sir?
Okay.
I'll see you in 20 minutes.
All right.
Hi, Bashrat, are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay. So now we're gonna the last today's thing is gonna be integration, right?
Okay.
And tomorrow you will do both the labs.
All right. Yeah, we did.
Right, so let's log in and configure the integration part, right?
Sorry.
So let's log in and configure the integration.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get connected to the storefront now, right? Okay, using the RDP sessions, this one here. And our storefront is STF1 and STF2 and VDC and delivery controller is VDC1 and VDC2, okay?
Okay.
So once you logged into the storefront, you'll open the storefront console. You see the storefront console is on the taskbar, right? Okay.
Sorry.
The storefront console is on the taskbar.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to open that up. And first thing I'm going to do is change the base URL. So I'm going to go to the server groups and change the base URL. This is the URL that you're going to also define in your DNS. All right, so I'm going to change the base URL and I'm going to use https storefront.workspacelab.com. This is the base URL you should have on your DNS configured, right? And I will go to the storefront here, and I'm going to go and manage authentication. So once you click on manage authentication, you'll see Netscaler pass through, right? And now it's going to ask me to add the Netscaler. So it says add appliance, gateway appliance to allow the user. So on top, you'll see manage Netscaler, right, sir?
Okay.
And I'm going to add the Netscaler here. So whatever name you want to have, I'm going to just say UGW, Unified Gateway, right?
Okay.
And in the gateway URL, I will just type in the gateway URL that we have been using, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And on the security authority, this is your delivery controller FQDN. So I'm going to click on add, and I will say https nyc-vdc-001.workspacelab.com, and I'm going to add it. If you have more than one, you add the second one also, right? c-vdc-002.workspacelab.com, and I would add both of them, right, sir?
Okay.
And I'll just do the load balancing from the storefront, but not from the gateway. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna go next, and you will see under the callback URL, I will use again https gateway.workspacelab.com and create it and finish. Okay, there you go, right, sir?
Yeah.
And if you see, I've got multiple stores, right?
Okay.
Okay, and I will select this store and configure the remote access and
Okay.
enable the remote access, allow users to access only resources delivered through storefront, no VPN. I will select the UGW, right?
Okay.
And I will say okay. Another thing you could do, or you don't have to do in your environment, but I have to do it here, is to change my Site 1 delivery controller to use XML. So I'll just remove both of them. Okay, and I'm going to add. There's an XML file that I'm using here, but maybe in your environment you will not use it.
Okay.
All right, and I will change this from HTTPS to HTTP now. Okay,
Mhm.
because now it's secure between my ADC and the gateway, right?
Okay.
And if you have multiple sites, then you can go to beacons. You can
Mhm.
specify all your sites in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll just go and say okay here, nothing to do. And because I have two servers, then I'll just go to server group and say propagate changes. Okay, and that's done. Are we good, sir?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go to the gateway. I will open the ADC. So we're gonna configure the gateway for ICA proxy, right?
Mhm.
So first of all, I'm gonna go and add the storefront. So I'll go to traffic management, right? And I'll go to the load balancing services. You see, I don't have a storefront server here, so I need to add that one, right? So I'll say SVC underscore SF1, right? Okay, and I will say it's going to be a new server. That means I'm going to give the actual IP 192.168.30.33. I'm going to use SSL, and I will be creating the server, right?
Okay.
And I'll say done. Then I'll add another one, SVC underscore SF2, right? A new server, 192.168.30.34. Protocol SSL, and done. Right? So for both of them, I can edit the SSL parameters. Sure, I have removed it. Yes, done. Okay, and I've already edited it, right? And now I'm going to create a virtual server, right, sir? And I will name it as LB underscore VSRV underscore storefront. All right, gonna use SSL and give me the IP address that you're gonna use, 172.21.10.110. All right, I'm gonna say okay. And here, no service binding. I'll select both my storefront 1 and storefront 2 and bind it. And I'm gonna go and continue. Then you bind the no server certificate. You bind the WC. All right, and continue. And under SSL parameters, you remove version 3. All right, and you're gonna click on persistence, and you're gonna say source IP, and you're gonna give me a timeout for 20 minutes, right? That means storefront page will time out after 20 minutes. Click OK, and we say click done. Now we also need to do for the SDA. So we're gonna go back onto the load balancing, create the services for the SDA, but we want the, are we together, sir?
Yeah.
Underscore XML1, and it's gonna be a new server, 192.168.30.31. Okay, and this is our delivery controller IP address. And I'll just say okay and done. Add the second one. svc underscore xml2 192.168.30.32. Click OK, and I'm gonna say done. And that's basically, I'm gonna add the virtual server now. And here call it lb underscore vsrv underscore xml and 172.21.10.115. Okay, under your no load balancing virtual server service, we're gonna bind, and we're gonna say continue and done. I'm not going to load balance it here because we have already load balanced it on the gateway part, right? So we're done with this, and we have created the services and the servers. Now I'm going to integrate the virtual apps and desktop. So I'm going to come under unified gateway. You will see the UGW, right? And it's going to ask you to select that Zen apps and desktop. That's going to be under here. You just click on this unified gateway, and you're going to go and click on the application. So just say continue and continue. So till the time you come to application, you click on add under the application, right? When you come under the application, you can choose web application, SaaS, or Zen apps and desktop. And we're going to select Zen apps and desktop. Inside that integration, you can either choose web interface or storefront. I'm going to choose storefront, right? Are we together, sir?
Yes.
And I will then be using storefront and say continue. Right, and this is where I'm going to give the storefront URL. All right, and that is going to be https storefront.workspacelab.com. All right, and then you're going to click on retrieve stores. So it's got the stores Citrix store dash one web, right, sir?
Yeah.
Are we good? And under your secure ticket authority, you're going to say https nyc-vdc-001 workspacelab.com, and I will add another one, and I will say https nyc-vdc-002.workspacelab.com. All right, do not use the test connectivity, just say continue. Default directory domain, that's gonna be workspace lab. Yeah, are we good, sir? Say continue, and you can now say done. So now I've integrated our virtual apps and desktop, right?
Hmm.
If you see, once you click done, just click on this back arrow
Yeah.
and go under your network, system network, IPs, and you'll see 115, right? All right,
Okay.
everything. So I'm gonna add one more. I'm gonna add a subnet IP,
Hmm.
and I'm going to say IP address that I'm gonna say is 172.21.10.119. All right, with a subnet of 255.255.255.0 is a subnet IP. Scroll down, enable management access control, or if it is enabled, you clear it. Okay,
Okay.
and we're just gonna create it. and you can save your NetScaler settings. So now I'm gonna go into the Citrix gateway. So here you go into the Citrix gateway, gonna go into your virtual server, you're going to edit this UPN UGW, right? So scroll down to, you see your two intranet applications, right, sir?
Yeah.
This, you see our work internal and all that, right?
Yes. Yes.
I don't have that. Here, these are your these are your two STS servers, right?
Two STS. Okay.
Yeah, and they are up, right, sir?
Yeah.
And now what we're gonna do is create a session policy, or go to the session policy, right?
Yeah.
You feeling sleepy, huh?
Yeah.
Don't worry
Today
about to.
very, very hectic.
I know. All right. So you see the session policies, right?
Okay.
And you see there is two policies that's been created. PLOS, where the header is saying the agent should contain Citrix receiver, and or the agent should not contain any Citrix VPN, right?
Okay.
And user agent not contain NSG, that Netscaler plugin, right?
Yes.
Because we selected no VPN, remember?
Hmm.
And the other one says, which is your web browser, the header should not contain Citrix receiver, right?
Yes.
So this is the two policies that are generated automatically.
Okay.
Okay. So now go to your virtual servers, and you can edit your virtual server, and under the virtual server, look at the policies. Under the policies, see, I've got three session policies, right?
Okay.
And these are your policies, right?
Yeah.
You just make sure the PLOS and PLWB, operating system and web browser, right?
The browser. Okay. Yeah.
This is 150 and this is binded, right, sir? And
Yes.
now we need to update our authorization policy. So go back onto the policies. We're gonna go back onto the session. Now you can click on the session profile. All right. You will see ACWB. All right. That is your action for the web browser, right?
Yeah.
And you can edit. So when you go under your published application here, you see your storefront.workspacelab.com store slash dash one web is there, right?
Hmm.
Are we good?
Yes.
So that is there under the web interface address, right?
Yeah.
And you see ICA is on because we are not using the VPN. So under the client experience, I'm not going to give you the choice.
Hmm.
So that's going to be under advanced, right?
Okay.
So if I will just disable that, keep the override global. excuse me, or keep the override global on, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna say okay, right? And now you can edit the second one, which is a action OS, right?
Okay.
Do the same thing. Go to your published tabs. You see your interface is there, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And under the client experience, advanced, make sure this is cleared, right? And global override is on,
Yes.
right? And now we can go and add the authorization policy. So I'm going to go on to the policies now, gateway policies,
Hmm.
and you will see authorization policy. And I am going to add, and I'm going to give it a name, auth o underscore allow underscore front end, right?
Okay.
This is going to be advanced policy, and I'm going to give something here on your expression where I will say client dot IP, all right, dot DST, right,
Hmm.
in subnet, all right, which is your IP address 172.21.10.0/24, right?
Okay.
And I'll say create, all right. Now I'm going to go to your AAA groups, which is your user administration
Hmm.
groups, and I'm going to add that on to your uh, contractors. I'm going to add it. I'm going to go to the your authorization policy. All right. Again, it's saying this is should be there, and I'm going to add a binding, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to select the policy, and this is going to be auto allowed and select, and I'm going to leave it, give it 1110, 110, not 1110. All right, and I'm going to bind it
Okay.
and close and done. Save it and log on to your external client, right?
Okay.
And open the gateway. Type in click on detect receiver and say, and then I'm gonna cancel it, right? And I will just say already installed. And if I open this apps, let's say Notepad, it's gonna download that ICA file. So all you just double click on this ICA file, right? There you go. The Notepad opens up, right, sir? And as you can see, it's not using any VPN, right?
Correct.
So I'll just click on that and log off. And that was okay. Now I can configure a fallback.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna configure a fallback, right?
Okay.
So we're gonna create a group for your that is not gonna overlap with the actual one. So we're gonna go back onto the ADC here, right, sir? And under the ADC, gonna go to your triple group, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to create another group called NS Quarantine. Just give me 10 more minutes and we'll be done.
Sorry.
I know I can understand. Don't worry, I understand all this. Okay, and I'm going to create it, right?
Yes.
And done. And then I'm going to go to the gateway policies and we're going to go to the session policy and I'm going to create a profile. So I'm going to go to the session profile and add and call it session underscore prof underscore do VPN, okay?
Okay.
And that's going to be with choices, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the VPN. That's the name, do VPN, and scroll down to advanced under client settings, advanced, and enable client choice, right, sir?
Okay.
And I'm going to create. Go to the policy and add a policy and give it a name, session underscore Paul underscore do VPN underscore with choices, right? And I'll just say classic here and just say ns underscore true, right? And I'm going to go back to the session profile. I'm going to add another profile and call it session underscore prof underscore do ICA proxy, right? All right. And we're gonna have the under the published application, we're gonna say ICA proxy is on, right?
Okay.
And override the web interface, HTTPS
Mhm.
storefront.workspacelab.com forward slash citrix forward slash store dash one web. Okay. And your single sign on domain, workspace lab, right?
Mhm.
Okay, this is under your secure published applications. And when you go under the default, under your security, you're gonna say allow for default authorization, right?
Okay.
Okay, and under the client experience, you're gonna enable clientless access.
Yeah.
All right, sir. And you're gonna enable this plugin type, Windows or Mac OS, right?
Okay.
And single sign-on to web application. Where is it? This one, single sign-on to web application, right?
Yes.
So override global should be enabled. All right. And in the advanced, just make sure override uh, is enabled, okay, and client choices is disabled, right, sir? And I'm going to create it. Something missing, invalid domain name, okay. Where is my domain name? Single sign-on domain, that's under published applications. Workspacelab.com, that's enabled. Domain name syntax, invalid domain name. Which workspace lab? That's fine. Security enabled, published application, storefront.workspacelab.com/citrix/. That's also fine. So where am I having a problem? Okay, single sign-on to web application, that's under the client experience. Okay, that's override. Under published applications, I have done https storefront.workspacelab.com, right? That's fine. ICA proxy is on. https storefront.workspacelab is on. Store-1. Maybe this is a problem. But where is it? Okay, maybe I'm missing something. Hold on. That's also fine. Workspace. Workspace lab. Okay, maybe now it's gonna work. Seriously? Just try add it again, okay? Session underscore prof underscore do ICA proxy. Okay, let's go with this one. Under the published tabs, I will choose override and on the web interface, I will choose this one, override global enabled, https storefront .workspacelab.com/citrix/store-1 web. Okay, that should be fine. All right, and single sign-on domain, workspace lab, that is also enabled. Under the security, okay, this is done. I will edit it again. Under the let's just make sure everything is there. Under the security, override allow, default authorization allow. I will just say that. Let me also just save it. I don't know where it is giving me that problem, and I will edit it again. Now under the client experience, okay, is gonna go on to the clientless access. That should be on. And plugin type, Windows, Mac OS, and single sign-on to web application. Okay, that's done. And scroll down to advanced and global override, and I will disable the client choices. Now it's creating it. Okay. Now go to the policies. All right, session policies, and add and say session underscore Paul underscore do ICA proxy. Are we there, Bashrat?
Yes.
And select this do ICA proxy and classic and say ns underscore true and create it. Wow, there are too many sessions I'm creating, and another one I'm gonna create a session fallback. Session underscore prof underscore fallback. All right, so if I go on to the security, all right, inside the security, and you're going to override the security check string. Advanced, and you see this advanced, and then you click on this on the override global. Then here you'll say client dot application, right, dot process. You will say wordpad.exe exists. Okay, that is your fallback, right, sir? And you see the NS quarantine. So you're going to override. So you're going to see that NS quarantine, right, sir?
Yeah.
You can select the client security string, which is this one here, and select your NS quarantine, right, sir?
Yes.
And just say create and OK. If you get any warning somewhere down, just say OK. And now lastly, we create a policy. So we've done that. You've created the policy. You have created the process. Okay. Now we're going to add the policy lastly. And we're going to say session underscore session underscore Paul underscore fallback, right?
Yeah.
And select your fallback
Okay.
and go to the classic and say ns underscore true. And you go to your gateway, go to your gateway policy manager, expand your groups, go to your 4 groups, right? Go to your IT admins, edit. All right. Once you go under the policies, you're going to add the policy, and this is going to be a session policy, right? Okay. Continue. You select the policy. The policy that you're going to select is select policy do VPN with choices, right? Okay, bind and done. So now you're going to go and scroll down here with your AAA again. You're going to now select the contractors. You're going to edit. You're going to add the policies, right? And with the contractor, you're going to do, uh, you're going to use this policy with the fallback. And this should be 10. Okay. So one, you're going to edit your contractors. We have edited the IT admin, right?
Mhm.
You've done it with the do VPN, right?
Right.
Okay. And with the contractors, we have done with the fallback, right?
Yes.
Again with the contractors, I'm going to bind one more. All right. That is do VPN with choices, right?
Yeah.
That is SSL do VPN with choices. And this is going to be bind and close and done. So and say okay. So that is what we have done, right? And under your AAA groups again, you see NS quarantine. I'm going to edit it, right, sir? And I'm going to add the policy with this one. And that policy would be uh, do session policy with ICA, right?
Yeah.
Session policy do ICA proxy, right?
Yes.
And that's going to be 10 and bind it and done. And say done and say okay. Save it. Let's go and test it, right?
Okay.
So first of all, we're going to start WordPad. Otherwise, you will not get anything, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to log in as contractor with password 1. There's your ETS scan. That should start. I'm going to click on network access, right?
Okay.
Are we good, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna log off and I'm going to exit this, right?
Okay.
Right, sir. So now I'm gonna close the WordPad. See what's gonna happen. I had that option for network and clientless, right?
Yes.
Contractor with password 1. And this one should not give me any option. And that should not give me any option, but that's how it's gonna be working, right, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, are we good?
Yes.
So there's last step left. Shall we do it?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna use the gateway smart access.
Hmm.
All right. So I will log out here. Close this. Go back to the ADC and go back to the gateway and create a session policy again. This is for the smart access
Okay.
and gonna create the profile. We're gonna add and session underscore prof underscore null, right?
All right.
That means no settings.
Okay.
All right, and null profile has no settings, okay? And I'm going to add, where I'm going to say I should have an antivirus, right? Session underscore prof, session underscore Paul, right? Underscore antivirus underscore good, right? And I'm going to select this prof. And under the classic policy, I will create a client dot application like how we did before, right?
Yeah.
The notepad process, right? And I'll say notepad.exe and it should exist, right?
Okay.
So it will only start when you have your virtual apps and desktop will only start when you have a antivirus installed, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to go to the gateway virtual server and I'm going to edit this. Scroll down to your 3 session policies. All right. And we are going to add a binding. So I'm going to select that and session with the, I'm going to select the with antivirus good. Where is it? Right here. Select it. All right. And I'm going to give it a priority of 10. And I'm going to bind that and I'm going to close it and I'm going to say done, right? And save it. And I need to go into the VDC to enable a PowerShell script. So I'll go to the VDC1, start the PowerShell just to enable the trust, okay? You can see the PowerShell, right, sir?
Yes.
I'll increase the font a little bit for you. You can see it now, right?
Yes.
All right, so what we are basically doing is enabling the XML service trust on your virtual desktop site and update all the delivery groups. So I'm gonna get and add PS snap in, Citrix. What ad? Hurt. There are too many two ads. And if I say get hyphen broker site, yes, you will see trust XML here. This one you see here, this is false, right?
Okay.
I'm going to enable that now. All right. So we're gonna say set hyphen broker site trust request sent to the XML service port $true. So if I show you that, now it's set to true. If you see this, right?
Okay.
Now I'm going to open the studio, because once you have done this, you need to now click on the create, do some policies. So you see my delivery group, right?
Yes.
This is my delivery group. I'm going to enable the access policy. So something like this you might have in your environment, or you might not have it, right? So I'm going to edit it. I can just right click and edit,
Okay.
and you will see access policy, right, sir?
Yeah.
All your connections not through the net skill are enabled, right?
Right.
Okay, so all connection not through Netscaler enabled, connection through Netscaler gateway is enabled, right? And now I'm going to add something. All right, I'm going to give it a site name, or UG underscore VPN underscore UGW, right? Underscore gateway. All right, sir. And in the filter, I'm going to specify that session underscore Paul underscore antivirus underscore good, the filter that we created, the policy, right? Are we good, sir?
Yep.
And we're gonna say okay. Okay, let's go and test it. So we're gonna go to the external client. I'll open a notepad just to show you, and I'm gonna log into my gateway using contractor with password 1. So you see virtual labs and desktop access, right?
Sorry.
There was a virtual labs and desktop access. You're not watching, huh?
No, no, I didn't hear you.
See here. Log
There are no
off.
apps or desktop available.
Let's see. I will just go here. Select to access your enterprise virtual app with the Citrix receiver. All right, let's try with this access. Why am I not getting my storefront? Not getting the storefront. Why? Should be getting storefront. Why am I getting? Let me log in again. If I click on this, I should get my. It's very strange. And if I close this, so when I check, I think my policy didn't apply very well. Because once I have the notepad enabled, right,
Yeah.
I should get everything on my storefront. But if I close the notepad, I should not be getting anything. So maybe my policy didn't apply very well. Yeah, my policy didn't apply well. Anyways, when I have the notepad on, I should be getting my apps, and when I don't have the notepad on, I should not get any. I should get a page like this.
Okay.
I think just my policy that didn't go well. Right, sir. So tomorrow, when we have actually covered your some extra 30 minutes today as well.
Mhm.
We tried covering up for your 1 hour, right?
Two.
Sorry,
2 hours, huh? I was late 2 hours earlier. No worries, not a problem.
you're
Remember,
not late 2 hours. I think you joined at 9:52, right?
uh,
On my time, you joined.
yeah,
I'll tell
so
you.
yes,
Uh,
8:52 for me.
yeah. Okay, so I mean that was 8:50 your time, so
Mm-hmm.
we 9:50 my time, so you were 2 hours. So yep,
Yes.
but we're still very much ahead of the time.
Okay. Mm.
So tomorrow you'll do these two labs, yeah?
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I
See you
hope
tomorrow.
tomorrow you'll be on time.
Yes, hopefully.
All right.
Okay then.
Okay.
See you tomorrow. Take care.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.